One of my favorite quotes is from a gentleman that lived about a half a century ago named Timothy Leary. And probably many of you might be familiar with Timothy Leary and some of his writings, all that. But Timothy Leary made the statement that his favorite saying was, I don't know. And I don't know. And the reason he would say, I don't know, is because whenever he said it, he would get an opportunity for someone to teach him something, that someone would volunteer or make something aware to him that he did not know. So by going around saying what he did not know or did not understand gave him plenty of opportunities to gain knowledge. It was a good learning experience, and that's a good way to look through life. So often in our spiritual lives, we are sort of in a hurry to know God so much in our minds that we try to know God by studying rules and creeds and doctrines and whatever, and we really miss knowing God in our hearts through this. We miss opportunity to know God more thoroughly by this procedure. I'd like to welcome all of us to our vlog today from St. Mark's Episcopal in Dalton, Georgia. We were actually in front of what used to be the Temple Bethel in the synagogue in Dalton for our message today. This past week, St. Mark's was very fortunate to have the Rabbi Craig Lewis from the Mitzvah congregation in Chattanooga come speak to us about Judaism and about the Jewish perspectives for seeking spirituality and closeness to God. And Rabbi Lewis quoted in his presentation from Genesis, the 28th chapter, the 16th and 17th verse. You probably know this story when Joseph awakes from his dream of seeing the ladder up to heaven and all this. He awakes, and what Joseph says when he wakes, he says, Jacob awoke and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. The Lord was in this place, and I was not aware of it. And then he says, he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? I like that quote, how awesome is this place? Well, in the this reminds us that often God is right by us, God is near us. We're simply just unaware. Certainty is a great asset to have in life, but often in our quest to know God more closely, certainty can be a hindrance. It can close our minds instead of allowing us to fully understand how awesome God is and how close God is. We all get wrapped up in describing God instead of accepting that God is beyond human comprehension. But the reality is, sort of like the Taoists say, that the way that can be named is not the eternal way. Let me repeat that. The way that can be named is not the eternal way. There's a lot of truth to that. It says, though this Lent, as we travel through our own personal wildernesses and try to get to know God and to know ourselves better and who we belong to, let us seek to be aware of God, that God is within us, even when we are, God is near us, even when we are unaware. And that this discovery will let us know, lead us to say, how awesome is this? So we say, this Lenten season, thanks be to God.